Hey guys, Kodaro Kid here, and today we're going to install Niagara on a Dell Gateway with a Ubuntu Core 16 operating system. And we're going to do this in specific ways. We're going to make some assumptions, but hopefully this will get you up and running with Niagara on your Ubuntu Core Dell Gateway. So let's get started. So first off, I'm going to use Terraterm to SSH into the Dell Gateway. You can use PuTTY or any other service, but we're going to use Terraterm. So let's get to that. So here's my Terraterm. All right. Now this is the IP address to the Dell Gateway. I'll show you how you can find the IP of your Dell Gateway once we SSH into it, in case you don't know how. So I'm assuming we're gonna make the assumption that the username and password is admin. All right, so I'm in. Now, if you don't know how to get your IP and you're just using a monitor, keyboard, and mouse, and you're directly connected to your Dell Gateway, you can just do if config. And you're going to go to Ethernet 0 probably, and this is going to be the IP you're going to want to use right here. Anyway, let's go down here. Let's clear this. Good. Let's expand it, make it a little bigger so we can all see it. Now that we're SSH'd into the Dell Gateway, I've taken a USB drive and I've put it into the Dell Gateway on one of its many USB ports. And now it's time to mount the USB drive so that we can access the files we need to install Niagara. So first I'm going to run this command right here. All right, and let's look at this part right here. So this right here is the USB drive that we're talking about. And that's where we have the Niagara installation on. And so now that's what we need to access. So going further into our guide. All right. So next step, let's make a directory for this. mkdir, oops, no e, p, /media/usb, boom, ls, it's there. We're going to cd into media, ls, it's there, good. I'm going to go back out. Now, next step. Now we need to mount the USB drive, and we're going to use sudo in this case. So we're going to use sudo, and then we're going to do mount, and then we're going to do dev / remember this is what we're looking for right here. We're going to mount this one right here, sdb1 /media/USB. Verify that you've typed in the command correctly. Oops, we have not. That's why we double check. We made a mistake. Boom, that would have been wrong. And make sure you have the mounting command correct, and then hit enter. Nice. So in this case, we've already mounted it, but and you'll get that warning if you have. But with ls, let's just look into it again. Boom, boom. CD into USB, ls, boom. We have everything we need in here. You see? This is the Niagara tar file that we will need. So let's look into the guide a little bit more. Or actually, let's get out of here for now. We're going to make the installer folder. So I already have that created, but we're going to go through the commands to show you how to make this. So let's go here. So we're going to do sudo mkdir -p tilde installer. Oops, that will not work. My bad. Good. That will. Okay, actually we're gonna, and so we made a mistake. We don't want that. So we're gonna actually do sudo rm. This is how you can delete mistakes. Installer. Oh, it's a directory. So if it's a directory, then just do R and boom. Now it's there, so it just got rid of it. But anyway, let's go back. Let's make sure. So this is the command you're going to run to create an installer folder. All right. And right. So now we're going to go back to the media folder now that we have the installer folder created. So we're going to go cd media. CD, because we know it's USB, but let's just double check. So we know USB. You can do an ls just to check, and then we're going to do cd USB. Then we're going to do another ls. All right. So now we're going to do sudo cp tilde /media /USB /Niagara, and then you can hit tab, and it'll fill in the rest for you. And then we're gonna, and it'll even put in a space, and we'll do a tilde -installer. All right, and so this is gonna move the necessary file over into our installer folder. So you gotta give it a second. Good. Let's move back. And here we're back at where we want to be. ls, see, this is installer. We're gonna do cd installer. ls, there, boom, we got it. That's what we were after. And now, then this next part we're going to do is we're going to now install it. So we're going to do sudo tar -xvf Niagara, and then we're going to hit tab to auto-complete it. And this should install everything we want. Give it a moment. ls, boom, now we have it. So from our tar file, we now have this directory. So let's cd into that directory by doing cd and ia. Let's do tab. It's going to complete it for us. Boom. ls. So we can see that we have an install.sh file, and we're going to use that to install Niagara. So from the install folder. So to use this, to run this file rather, do sudo /, very important, install.sh. All right, so you're going to want to choose one if you do not have an active internet connection to install the image. If you do have an active internet connection, you're going to want to choose two, and that way you're going to get like the latest updates, the latest version. But in our case, we're going to choose one. So this could take some time for it to install. So give it a moment. Great, so now the image is installed. So now it's asking, would you like to download the most recent update for the selected image? You're always going to want to choose yes for this if you have an active internet connection. That's going to give you the latest patch for the version. If there is no patch, then it'll essentially do nothing. But we're going to choose yes. Would you like Docker to manage Niagara's start and restart capability? You're going to want to choose, you're always going to want to choose yes, basically, for this. That's because you want the installation associated with the Docker container, so that no outside variables will interfere with the installation. This also makes sure that it will auto restart if it's crashed for any reason, as well as any restarts, power losses, etc. It's also the simplest way to make Niagara act as a service in Linux. So we're going to choose yes. Would you like the installer to attempt to migrate the current system's network manager configurations? Say yes to this. The network manager that comes default needs to be set up correctly. And with Niagara controlling it in the future, Niagara will have access to, and be able to modify the TCP IP stack. If this is not migrated, the system will likely become in conflict with Niagara's connection attempts. So we're going to choose yes. This you want to apply this configuration. Would you like Niagara to be able to modify the TCP IP information? You want to choose yes, because Niagara will have an easier time using the protocols on the internet to connect to the different devices. Although, if you do not wish any Niagara user to have the ability to change the TCP IP information from within the Niagara workbench, this option might be a no for you, because it might create security concerns on the installation's network. This installation can be configured later without reinstallation, but we're going to choose yes. Would you like to start the Niagara service? Yeah, we absolutely do, because we're going to use the Niagara workbench to verify that this installation was installed correctly. And so let's hit yes. Wait for it to start up. Awesome, it's not running, but let's go into my Niagara workbench and verify that the installation is set up properly. To verify that we installed Niagara correctly on the Ubuntu core Dell Gateway, we're going to use our N4 to connect to it. So, open the platform here. This verify that's the right IP, which it is. Hit OK. And then the password, of course, username and password is Tritium Niagara. And there you go. We installed Niagara correctly on the Ubuntu core Dell Gateway.